what I learned about acquisition is that you should, or not you should, right? So I don't want to say you should, because there's so many routes you can take, but it makes sense to buy up a competitor's company, because you already know the industry, so it's less likely that, hopefully, right, if you know your industry, it's less likely that you're gonna get screwed over by someone else. Because if you buy something that you know absolutely nothing about, then, right, how are you even gonna know if the machinery works? How are you gonna know if the software works? How are you gonna know if they're marketing right? How are you gonna know if what they're saying in their marketing is true or not? Maybe they're misleading people, and that's how they get clients, but then their fulfillment, which I guess it would show in their churn ratio, would not be good. But the idea is to buy up a competitor, and that way you also expand your market that way. And I've personally seen and known people that have created companies from scratch and sold them, and I have seen how the people that buy those companies are competitors, are people in either the exact same industry, a direct competitor, or maybe a tangent competitor. Like, let's say if for example, a restoration company buys up let's say, or a water restoration company buys up just a general restoration company, right? Maybe they were not direct competitors, but it's still in that same industry. So the idea is to, if you're gonna buy an industry, and if you're gonna buy a business and you're not really passionate about anything, then buy something that you are an expert with, that you are an expert in, and that you know about, so that you decrease your chances, because it can always happen, but you decrease your chances of getting screwed over or getting blindsided by the selling party. But that's something I learned and yesterday, or some insight that I hadn't thought about, and it makes sense. It makes sense. And so I think that helps me get closer to knowing what is it that I want to buy. I think I also want to buy something in the food manufacturing area, and so at least I'm getting closer from last week, from